Welcome back to another 90 Day Fiancé recap. Let's talk about Happily Ever After Season 9, Episode 15. This is part 2 of the recap. We're going to talk about Brandon and Julia and Darcey and Stacy and Florian and Georgi. Let's start with Brandon and Julia. Well, they're going to Europe after they tell Betty and Ronald about it.
And we're going to Europe, and we're gonna tell grandparents about our trip.
Hey guys!
So they come over, they're all happy, and they're like, so, what are you getting ready for? Mom, we're going to Europe. And they're like, no, you are? So you are going. Ugh.
Just getting a few things together. We're getting ready.
Ready.
We're packing up because we're going to Europe.
Okay, for how long? I don't really know, Mommy. Are you freaking serious? Oh, this isn't logical. This isn't rational. We're so disappointed. We didn't raise you this way, Brandon. You should be working on your career. You shouldn't just quit your job and run over to Europe.
Your career is so important, especially at your age.
Exactly.
That's
I
why
thought
we're
I
so
did.
surprised.
You know me, but you know I wouldn't take this kind of risk unless I thought it was absolutely necessary.
This isn't like you, Brandon. You would never do this. It's as if someone is making my son into a different person. Julia.
I can't believe we spent our life teaching Brandon to plan,
Do the right thing.
do the right
Think
things,
logically.
and this is not my son.
Listen, this is a rare ass occasion because I actually agree with the parents. I don't think Brandon should be quitting his job and running away to Europe. Julia's like, this is between us. I think you both need to step out of our family matters. And Betty goes, we're all family. Maybe you do need to go back to Russia.
No, we're all family.
No, we are in now being different.
Yeah, if you don't feel like we're all a family, maybe you do need to go back to Russia.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Maybe you do need to go back to Russia.
What did you say, Miss Betty? That is a wild statement. Ronald tells Julia that she's putting a wedge in between them. And then they yell at Brandon again. They're like, hello, Brandon, Earth to Brandon. Are you there? Why are you letting this happen? Don't let her rip our family apart. Brandon's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And then they storm out.
Have a great life. I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore.
Y'all really leaving?
What else you want us to do? You're leaving?
Brandon falls to the floor and he starts to cry. He's like, what? I don't know what to do. Julia just stands there and she stares at him while he weeps and whines and sobs on the floor.
I feel like I've just lost my parents, Julia. I don't know what to do.
In my professional potato opinion, this Europe trip is definitely all about escaping Betty and Ronald. Julia wants to get the fork away from them so that they can stop squeezing themselves into their business. And honestly, I think Julia is going to try to convince Brandon into not having kids without his parents' constant pressure. So when Julia came in hot with the,
we're going to Europe to fix our marriage.
what they heard was,
I'm gonna take your son away from your control and take over.
Brandon and his parents are in a very long-term codependent relationship, and it's almost disguised as closeness. His parents do not trust him to make decisions because they never let him make his own decisions. So when he finally does something unplanned and a little reckless, they interpret it as a threat. They're watching their golden boy step out of their bubble, and instead of celebrating his adulthood, they're treating it like a sign of betrayal.
Running away is not going to help.
Julia is probably pushing for the trip because she's desperate for some space away from the parents, from the constant interference, from the suffocation. The girl feels suffocated. I don't think Julia's wrong for wanting to go to Europe to get the fork away from his parents, but having Brandon quit his job, well, actually, I don't think she made him quit his job. He kind of did it on his own. But what was his job? Let me do a quick Google search. What was Brandon's job on 90 Day Fiancé? Oh, he works as a pest control technician. I mean, does it really matter then? Because he can just come back and can't he reapply for another position at a different company? I don't know, that's just my opinion, but I do think overall it is a very risky move, especially if he wants to start a family. You shouldn't just quit your job and go to Europe, but that's the whole point. Julia does not want kids, and I think she is going to use this time in Europe away, far away from his parents to convince him into not having kids. I know Betty and Ron think that Julia is trying to break the family apart, but she's not. She's just trying to create boundaries. Her delivery is not that great, okay? She's very direct, she's pretty harsh, and Betty probably receives it as disrespect. So when Betty snapped, maybe you do need to go back to Russia. Hopefully what she meant was, I cannot handle not being in control, so you need to leave so that I can get Brandon back in line. This is my professional potato advice to Brandon. Please grow a backbone. Stand up to your parents and learn how to say no without crying. To Julia, girl, I get it. I get that you're suffocating. I know Ron and Betty are a lot. But you can't just run off to Europe, okay? That's not going to fix all your issues. It's just going to delay the conversation you actually need to have. Do you want children or not? And to Betty and Ronald McDonald, stop parenting your 30-year-old man-child. He's an adult. If you don't let him be an adult... Oh my God, this is so random, but I found a video. It's actually such a sad video on Instagram. It's like it's an animation, and I thought it was just going to be sweet and uplifting and happy, but it is sad and dark. And this kind of reminds me of the situation. I'm going to have to find it because it's such a good video. And if I do find it, I'm going to insert it right here. Let's move on to Darcey and Georgi. So Darcey's in her kitchen, she's chopping up some onions, her eyes are burning from the onions, but then she touches her eyes with the hands that were on the onions.
It's burning. Sting, sting. Oh, my contact. Go behind my eyeball again. Okay. It's back.
Georgi walks in from a long day of work. He sees her crying and he goes, "Why are you crying, Darcey?"
Oh, these onions are burning my eyes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were crying for no reason.
I don't cry for no reason, Georgi. There's always a reason that I cry.
Yeah, my eyes are sensitive.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like crying with no reason.
Well, then don't make me cry. Lately, it's been crying because of us when I do cry.
Now he's super tired. He had a very long day at work. She asks him how his day was, and he responds with, "Why are you asking? You never ask."
It's obvious you don't want to talk. Do you? Do you? Do you?
Because I'm tired to be your punching bag.
Woof, how are they gonna fix their communication problems? She apologizes for the way she acted at dinner in front of their friends when she threatened him with a divorce. And he basically says he's numb from all the constant fighting. She makes it clear that she's gonna do better because she wants to fight for their marriage.
I apologize for saying the D word, talking about divorce.
I'm numb. I'm numb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next scene.
Georgi, oh no, my cat suit ripped. My cat suit, give me glue, Georgi.
It's New York Fashion Week and House of 11 is doing a fashion show. Oh my god, they did a flashback of Georgi's fashion walk from one of their shows and it was so effing hilarious. And then Darcey imitating him was also freaking hilarious.
You came out fierce.
It's not easy to walk when you have a bit things between the legs.
Well, yeah, you were swaying. It was swaying.
Oh my god, why am I now just realizing that their initials for their brand, House of 11, spells out hoe? So they fly out to Connecticut to visit Papa Silva, and her daughters are also visiting. We see Aspen and Aniko. They're so grown up, they're gorgeous. And then they ask them about the Bulgaria trip, and Darcey tries to make pancakes. She tells Georgi to get the fork out of her way. Darcey says her Miami lease is about to be up, and she was thinking about putting all their stuff in storage and coming back here to Connecticut for a little bit. And the dad is like, "Here, where here? Here? I don't think so." And Georgie's like, "What?"
Yeah, Miami's getting super expensive.
He's not okay with this plan, but he doesn't want to argue in front of the family, so he just shuts his mouth. He's gonna handle it later.
Where the this is coming from? And she's being very hypocritical. I mean, I don't know how to feel about it.
Papa Silva's like, you can't come back here, Darcey. I need some space from all of you guys because when you come, Stacy comes. And then I'm stuck with all four of you. You guys are all adults. You and your husbands should be taking care of each other. And I don't think Darcey was expecting her dad to deny her like that because she looked super disappointed and sad.
So it ain't gonna happen. No bull. Your husband needs to take care of you. You need to take care of your husband for a marriage. You've got to create, and he's got to create for you an environment that says, this is for both of us. If you don't, it's not gonna work.
Well, guess who else made it to Connecticut? Stacy and Florian. They're also here to see Papa Silva before they all head to New York. And this is where we learn that he was diagnosed with cancer. Oh no! They don't talk about it at all in front of the cameras. Darcey tells us in her confessional, but Papa Silva doesn't like to talk about it, and that is so heartbreaking. They're in his office, and he asks Darcey how his marriage is going with Georgi, and she's like,
I don't really know. I thought Bulgaria was going to be amazing, but things just have gotten worse.
He tells her it's a big red flag when she constantly is looping him into their text messages and their problems. Like, for example, when he had to pay the rent. But then Darcey's like, yeah, I know, but if I don't include you, he won't do what I say. He'll only listen to me when I include you. Oh my God, Darcey, I told you this was going to happen. You were his sugar mama. What did you expect? I warned you. I warned you before you got married, and you said you could handle it.
I told you this was gonna happen, right? When you got married. And you said, don't worry, I can handle it. I know what I'm doing. Your whole relationship is a argument.
Then we learned that Darcey and Stacy's parents got divorced when they were just 12 years old because Papa Silva was always working and always on business trips. Apparently, he's a chairman of a big company in China. So yeah, he was always traveling and the mom needed him around. She wanted the emotional support. She wanted him physically, romantically. And when he would be home, they would argue all the time. Papa Silva tells Darcey to figure out what she wants.
You gotta find out what he wants. But it's first and foremost, really understand what you want. Find out what you want.
And off they go to New York. The four of them are in the car, and then they start talking about the conversation the twins had with their dad and how the dad is concerned about Darcey and Georgi's relationship and the money and the communication and the fighting. What do you mean I don't pay rent? I just needed a few extra days, Darcey. Okay, fine. Then I have another question. Are you in it long term? And Georgi goes, yes, of course I am, or else I wouldn't have invited her to Bulgaria to meet my family. It feels like all she does is complain and complain and complain about him to her family, so the entire family hates him. Darcey then accuses him of stashing his money away secretly so that he can make a run for it when the time is right.
I think he's waiting for the right moment. That's why he's stashing his money away for that moment.
Oh.
It's a little red flaggy.
And they're both like, don't waste our good years. Don't waste our good years. Actually, I'm wasting my good years.
Actually, I'm wasting my good years.
Oh, no. The twins are fired up. They are activated.
Darcey's like, we're 50 and fabulous. We raised beautiful kids. We started a company. We're 50 and fabulous. 50 and fabulous. 50 and fabulous.
Raised two kids each, started a company, you know. Yeah, very powerful on my own.
That's going to be the title of their next single, 50 and Fabulous.
We're 50 and fabulous. We're 50 and fabulous.
This is my professional potato assessment of Darcey and Georgi. Darcey is clearly emotionally impulsive. We've seen it time and time again with all her relationships. She wants love so freaking bad. But more importantly, she wants that constant validation. Oh my God, you guys, I'm losing my voice. Her self-worth seems to be tied to being chosen, adored, and desired. Constantly. And when Georgi distances himself, it triggers her abandonment fears. She'll do whatever she can to pull him back, not necessarily because he's the right person, because God knows he's not the right person, but because she just desperately wants things to work. Georgi, on the other hand, he is avoidant to the bone. He shuts down emotionally when confronted and deflects responsibility with silence. He's not built to handle Darcey's intensity. He wants connection, but only on his terms. The more we see of them, I just don't understand how their marriage could survive. I don't ever see Darcey walking away from the marriage. I don't think she can end it. I think she's all talk, she's all bark, no bite. I think it's all up to Georgi, and he needs to be the one to end it. So the question is, will he end it? It kind of seems like in the preview for the next episode, he might say he's over it. But what I'm seeing on TikTok, they're constantly on live stream together. I just don't see Darcey being able to put a smile on and be on live stream with him if he broke up with her. So I don't know. But what I do know for sure is that Stacy is not an actress. She cannot fake it. If she hates him, she hates him. If she loves him, she loves him. She's not like Jasmine, where Jasmine can play the part. She can play into what the audience wants. But Stacy cannot. She wears her heart on her sleeve. She cannot fake it for the cameras. She cannot fake it for a storyline. And honestly, that's kind of what I love about her. So yeah, that's it for their segment. What did you guys think? What are all your thoughts? Let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.
Don't talk to me!
Eat my ass. Eat it fast. Eat my ass. Eat it fast.